Today on Gun Talk Nation, we've got our very own KJ, Kevin Jarnagin, talking about what happened last week at SHOT Show. Gun Talk Nation is brought to you by Savage Arms and GunDealio. Hey, welcome into Gun Talk Nation. Today on Gun Talk Nation, it's none other than the KJ.
Yeah.
Kevin Jarnagin's with us, part of Team Gun Talk, and so this is post-SHOT Show. I thought we would just kind of jump into what happened last week. We know they know what's happened a little bit.
Right.
There's the behind the scenes of what happened. There's what happened, and then there's what happened.
What really happened?
What really happened? Because they were like, what happens in Vegas?
No, really, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It all goes home.
No,
because you have to like reflect on it for our audiences, because we like bringing them like the behind the scenes.
All right. First off, let's get this out of the way. Did you win money or did you lose money, KJ?
I came back $115 richer.
Hey,
I came back.
That's pretty good.
This is one of the first years that I actually did that. And what's funny is the last night we were there, we had all kind of split up, and it was at the end of the evening, and we went our separate ways to our separate hotels/casinos. I walked up to a machine. I opened my wallet. I took out the money, and I looked at the machine, and I thought to myself, is this smart, or is this what Vegas wants me to do?
He looked around at the billion-dollar casino and went,
They built those casinos off of guys like me. They're like, well, it's technically I'm playing on house money.
Yeah.
So.
And you're not a big gambler.
No, I'm not.
And I'm not a big gambler. And I ended up
How'd you do?
Getting encouraged to join a guy at a blackjack table and actually won. I think I won, I don't know, it was $180, and then I gave some of it back. So I probably ended up with, $140.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Up.
I mean,
That's pretty good.
We're talking 6-7 days in Vegas.
Yeah, it's a long time to be in Vegas.
It's a long time to be in Vegas. And when people start going out, you want to sit down, and I sit down at a blackjack table, but I go, see, my trick is, I've got a trick to this.
Nope.
So I go
Listen
down
up.
to where the cheap tables
Pro
are,
tip.
down to Fremont Street, and it's $5 tables or $10 tables. I have found $5 tables down there, but $10 tables, and it was me and Brad from Silencer Central.
So $100, you can play all night.
You can play you can really play all night. And I left there. But I left there up about $30.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you don't lose your shirt, it's pretty good.
It's anytime you can walk away from Vegas up, whether it's $2 or $100, like I feel like the house did not win. Because I've been on plenty of beatdowns in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, I've been where there's no $5 tables, and it's a $25 table or more.
I can't do that.
And I want to say I did once this is before the gun world, and I must have lasted 10 minutes, and I was like, wow, that was like $200 was gone quick.
You have to stop and like kind of take a breath, because I get mad, and that's why I can't gamble, is because I think I can get even.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, this is a game. It's meant to. Well,
that's how they get you. Look,
I know.
This is pro tip for you. Welcome to Casino Talk. Yeah. I know this is what you tuned in for.
This is how you succeed in Vegas.
Yeah, let me teach you how to beat the casinos. Here we go.
Don't play.
Yeah, that's how you beat it. But it is funny because if you win money and you're up $100, $200, it's like free money. And you're like, yeah, I'll just reinvest.
No.
I'll let it ride. Mm-mm. That's what they want you to do. And if you're down $100, $200, you're like, I can get that back.
I can get that back.
That's what they want you to do. They're going either way.
I can't stand it. Like I get mad.
And then they build casinos, in the shape of pyramids with your money.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever.
Well,
in the shape of a castle.
Here's how I start to think about it. And since this is Gun Talk Nation, and thank you for having me on, but what happens is that I start thinking logically, is that I'm like, okay, if it's a $25 table, I'm like, if I lose 4 hands, that's like 100 rounds of ammo now.
You put that into ammo speak.
If you put that into ammo speak or primers or powder or whatever it is, now you start going, walking away with 120, 130 bucks in my pocket,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. So I did. Well, I haven't purchased it yet,
Oh,
but
you did.
I am buying something.
The money's gone.
So SHOT Show is an industry show. It's not an open to the consumer show, and they don't sell things in their booth.
No.
I mean, they're just displaying it for media
Right.
or buyers for like gun stores or whatever. But I ran into this guy who works for a rep group. So they represent a bunch of different brands. And one of the brands they represent is XS Sights. So we were kind of hanging out at the XS Sights booth, chatting with those folks. By the way, the XS Sights people, they're from Fort Worth. They're like the best. Like the whole
even
group.
just to hang out with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I would like have them all over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just like the best.
Well, they're real super down to earth. I mean, being from, down in Fort Worth, Texas. I mean,
so
they're
Ryder Jones
obviously-
walks up.
Oh, no.
Ryder from Jones and Company, he's a rep group guy. I hope I can say this. I'm not going to get him in trouble. I
Well,
think this is all fine.
Here's my version of it. My version of it is after the fact that all this happened, I'm sitting there and I just come off the stage from doing one of our Guns and Gear lives. And Ryan goes, and I just bought this. It's a write-off, right? And I look at the sheet of paper and I'm going, we definitely needed that.
I'm so glad that you're dumb. It's called the Exothermic Pulse Fire. Guess what it is? It's a flamethrower.
Fire.
It throws flame. Everyone wants
Up to what?
a flamethrower.
Like 25
25 feet is what it said.
gosh.
I think in California, surprise, surprise, you're only allowed to throw flame like 10 feet. So you can burn stuff, but you can't burn it from too far away.
Well, we need it to get rid of all the mosquitoes around the pond.
This is mosquitoes.
yeah.
This is thawing out the driveway in southern
Yeah,
Louisiana.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Stuff like that. So, that's what
that was one of the coolest things that come out of the show. I think. I think, like to cap it off, Vegas really ended up getting Ryan for
yes,
a little bit.
They got me. I'm actually I got the form that I have to fill out and mail my check or money order. He's like, I'll shoot you an email.
So if any of our guys on the show have an interest in something like this, I mean, this is a legal purchase. I mean, this isn't anything that's
Look it up.
hidden.
Exothermic Technologies, Exothermic Pulse Fire. That they're not even a sponsor, but I just was like,
who cares?
All right,
Cool.
that's neat. And then I was like, yeah, that's neat. Am I going to set myself on fire? He's
Well,
like, oh, no, this one's
no.
way safer than the other ones. I'm like,
Of course
wait,
he would say that.
Wait, so the other ones are not safe? No,
This is way
I haven't
easier.
really bothered Googling man sets himself on fire with a flamethrower yet.
Well, we'll title that video later. Like we'll just title it later. But what I think is really cool about this one is it looks fairly compact. Like it's not like a real bulky unit.
I think I'm gonna get just the kind of traditional flamethrower, the one is handheld.
Yes.
They do have one
That you sit behind?
that you mount on a Picatinny on the bottom of your AR.
Hold on a second. Why aren't we getting that?
Well, I was kind of hoping you would get that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get this one. You get that one. We
Okay.
have both.
I'm good with that.
Or maybe us talking about this for 2 minutes. Maybe he'll be like, "Hey, we'll throw the other one in."
Yeah.
All right. You guys heard that, right?
Noted.
All right. I don't know.
We're getting the AR mounted one because that's too cool.
So that was something unusual. I don't usually buy stuff at the SHOT Show. Well, at least I just told the guy I'd buy one and I'd give him my card.
Yeah.
But you also you get to see there's all walks of life there, and sometimes there are famous people there.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I've got a funny story about that too.
I didn't say hi to him, but I saw Taryn Butler
Yeah.
was
I saw her.
there. I did see Donald Trump Jr., and this was kind of funny because in past shows, like I've seen him at NRA show, he has like 12 security guards around him and all this stuff. I'm walking down one of the big aisles, and this guy's walking towards me, and there was a mask mandate by Las Vegas, not by SHOT Show, but there was a mask mandate in place, which say what you will about that. But I guess it's helpful if you're a known guy because you can just wear a mask and not look strange.
Right.
So this guy's walking toward me, and he's got a ball cap on, like a flannel shirt, mask. And as he got closer,
That
my
says
immediate
Don J on it. Like,
it just said-
what
it
gave
just
it
said-
away?
It said huge. It's huge. This mask is huge. No, but I mean, as he walked closer, I immediately
You
went,
knew.
that's John Jr. And I was just like, and I was about to say, hey, Don Jr., how you doing? But then I was like, wait, what if it's not him?
Oh.
And then he got closer, and as he passed by me, and he's a couple steps past me, I was like,
Yep, definitely.
that was him. Totally him. And then, of course, I heard from a couple of people like, oh, yeah, he's here. I talked to him, or I saw him, or whatever.
I never saw him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was pretty, and he had no security. He's just strolling down the aisle.
Dude, he wants to buy some flamethrowers too.
Yeah, he's getting himself a new flamethrower. That's hard to say.
Say flamethrower.
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 Give me a flame.
I got it.
A flamethrower.
I talk good.
We do this for a living, people.
Hello.
So what else was cool at the show?
Well, I have a kind of a famous person interaction.
Spotting?
Yeah. No, like jumped up on stage.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes. So we're sitting there and Michael's sitting down. It's right after lunch. We're kind of right in lunch. It was on our busy day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot happening. We had, I don't know, 7 or so interviews and we were just running back to back and the guys had run off and they got like just some snacks and Michael's sitting down and he's eating this Larry and Lenny
like one of those giant cookies.
A giant cookie. And
Yeah.
he's like, he's shoveling in fast
so
because
good.
he's got to like get there and he's got to go like.
It's a healthy cookie.
Yeah, but it's a cookie and they're delicious. I think they are. So I'm sitting there and we're kind of just chatting and all of a sudden this like young lady just jumps up on stage and I'm like, ooh, I know who that is. Like immediately I was like, I know who that is. And not wearing a mask.
And what did she say?
No, she introduced
to
her
Michael.
She was like, hi, I'm Christy. And Michael's like, hi, I'm Michael, and he's covering his face, and
your chocolate chips are good. He looks up and says,
to be honestly, I wouldn't have like let the cookie down anyway. Like I would have been eating the cookie.
So
too. Christy,
which is
Christy Noem, the governor of South Dakota.
Governor Christy
just jumped up,
just strolls up on stage. Hi, I'm Christy.
No, jumped up, and I walk over to her and I go, we have stairs right over there.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's really cool. And I sat down and I had a 10 to 15 minute conversation with her. Like, and she is a very engaging personality. Like I forgot, like, surprised I forgot my name. But I forgot to say, hey, can I get a picture with you? Or to have the guys actually like roll camera on this conversation because it's an interesting, candid conversation. But she was so engaging and we were just, conversing.
Man,
turns out she was lost.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, she was supposed to be at the the Shot TV.
The guys
booth.
next to us.
But oh man, great to be in our position because man, she strolled up, had a 15-minute conversation, and then we kicked her out of the booth.
That is pretty cool. And we've dealt with a lot of different politicians over the years, and some kind of have their handlers or have their security or whatever. But she's down to earth as they come.
She was down to earth, very, very knowledgeable. We talked hunting, honestly.
Really?
That's what we talked. Yeah.
Was it her family has a farm or something like that?
Yep. They have a farm and she hunts pheasants and I mean she does it all. I mean she's a great representative for the shooting sports.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We got to thank a couple sponsors. Smith & Wesson, their new pistol is the CSX. It's a brand new platform for them. This is not an M&P family gun because it's hammer fired. It's an aluminum alloy frame. Okay. It's not a polymer pistol and it's a micro 9mm. So it's very small. It's very ambi. Okay. It has an ambi thumb safety, interchangeable back straps, changeable mag release buttons. So you can swap it from left to right side and an ambi slide stop. Holds 10 rounds in the flush fit magazine, 12 in the extended magazine. Check out the new Smith & Wesson CSX Smith-Wesson.com. Also, GunDealio.com. It's your one-stop shop for deals on guns, ammunition, gear, optics, holsters, all the things. And it's our site, GunDealio.com. And the thing is, right now, everybody's shopping for stuff and they're trying to find things in stock. Here's the deal. Yes, we find things in stock. Yes, we find deals. We have special deals.
Oh, yeah.
We have deals
dedicated
with
for GunDealio.
Dozens of different companies where you can go find, the code to go buy a Crimson Trace product or a Caldwell product or
for a certain percentage off. That varies by where you're
varies
shopping.
Depending on the brand, but we have deals worked out with these guys. So check it out. Don't waste time or money. Go to GunDealio.com.
And what's that slogan?
Trigger the deals.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
See?
Because I thought of it.
I set him up and he knocks them out.
Trigger the deals. You know, trigger guns.
Yeah, I get
Thing.
it.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
So SHOT Show, what else happened this week or this past week at SHOT Show?
So we had a dinner with AOB, which is, the folks from Caldwell and Frankfurt Arsenal and all those folks.
Tipton, Wheeler.
Yeah, all those folks. That night, I was up all night, sick as a dog. Like, I don't know if I ate something. You got
the COVID.
But
no,
that's
you didn't.
definitely not what happened. It was much more serious.
It was,
than that.
It was a food issue.
It was more urgent than that.
You were eating some gas station sushi or something?
It must have been something. I don't know. Maybe I stopped by White Castle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I know you're closed. You've been closed for an hour. You got anything left?
Yeah. You got anything? Hey, scrape the grill. But so all day Wednesday, like, I'm stressing out.
I feel like this is kind of a TMI moment
all
for everybody listening.
I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to play this off? Because my initial thought was, because we had a team member go down before heading out there.
Yes. With
the vid.
Yeah. It's going around.
Oh, it's
all
spread.
The cool kids are getting it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm not cool enough because I didn't get it. But no, that was an interesting day for me. But it all turned out good.
You survived.
I survived. I played it off as well as
I did have
I could.
One guy I had lunch with on Friday. Friday's the last day of the show. And I said, man, you look pretty good for Friday. He goes, I don't know how that's possible. I was like, you tired? He's like, I haven't slept. And this is like noon on Friday. We're having lunch. He's
That's
like, went out last night and was hanging out with a buddy. And all of a sudden at 6 a.m. And he's like, let's go get breakfast.
No.
Okay. They end up getting breakfast. He goes, show starts in like 30 minutes. Let's just go to the show.
No.
So he was just working the show.
Okay. So
literally the Walking Dead.
And sometimes that's how it goes. Like, you have a long night out in Vegas, but Ryan and I have really we've kind of like shifted our focus, because he's got to be in front of sponsors and potential sponsors, throughout the show, and just being in front of people. And I'm on the Guns and Gear Live. I'm, talking to people. And so it's paramount that we are as fresh as we can be. And there's times when I want to hang out and I want to be there and, be at the Circle Bar, which is kind of where everybody kind of mingles and hangs out. But there's a point where it's like, you got to cut it off. Like, you got to go home.
We grows up, KJ. We grows up.
I know. You get old. Or
now
whatever.
I think pretty much every night I was back to my room by midnight, which is pretty darn good.
I had one 2:30 night. One. But that was not, I mean,
yeah.
But I was good the next day, because
as long as you can show up and function the next day.
Well, but I can't do multiple nights in a row.
Oh no.
You can't. 20-year-old would be ashamed of myself. if he was
expect more from you.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those up. And I get it, but man, there's a form and a function a certain level that we've got to try to achieve.
Yep. So
what products? Let's talk a little bit about stuff that we don't normally talk about, or we don't normally get a chance to provide our audience, because you've always got stuff from Ruger or from Smith & Wesson or Springfield Armory. All those guys are always launching stuff. What interesting or new products cannot be a flamethrower did you see?
Well, I talked to a company that makes accessories for FN products, and I was like, why FN?
Yeah.
They're like down in Florida, and they're like, well, because FNs are the coolest. It was his take. I was like,
he just likes them.
I just like them.
No kidding.
And so they make some neat stuff for scars, for FN57s. You take the slide cover off of the FN57, which has a slide cover,
right?
And you replace it, and now it is optics ready.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
That's actually cool.
And then the internals and some of the working parts for the Scar are overly complicated, unnecessarily complicated.
Right.
Thanks, Belgium. But
You're welcome,
they
Ryan.
kind of simplified this.
Yeah.
And they have a project for the P90. So, and now you're going to
That's
say,
cool.
what was the name of that company?
Yeah. What was the name of that company, Ryan?
Dude, that was the last day.
I know.
I don't know. My brain was fried.
We were walking, and one of the cool things is that like all these guys are bringing their service dogs and they're all that, and you know they've got ones that are like it's always a mount on the wall that are all tricked out, and they've got the vest on and they've got the goggles on and they're walking around looking cool. The funniest thing I saw all week was on a Malin wall, and he didn't have a vest on or anything like that, but he did wear goggles, and the goggles look like googly eyes. And so it looked like he was looking in like 2 or 3 different directions.
I
that was the funniest one.
What are the little Frenchies?
French bulldogs.
Yeah.
Or right?
What
Yeah,
they call
French
them?
bulldogs.
Yeah. There were 2 of those in one of those, like the kid Jeeps that kids drive around.
So that
But there were 2 of them in there, but somebody was like had a remote control. So they're just rolling, and they had like tactical.
he's actually
gear
that's
on.
Storm and Norman. He's actually like an influencer puppy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually got a huge following. Like I'm talking like he really does.
He's bigger than you or I.
Yeah. Oh, 100
Oh my
like 100
gosh.
times over probably.
That's hilarious.
I mean, because he can't put his paw in his mouth like we do. See what I
Right.
did there? Like foot and mouth. Okay, that went over like a wet blanket. But
I got to meet Crispy, cool guy.
yeah, I went on an
Cool guy.
event with him. We were at the Crimson Trace. I talked to him for a little bit. I was shocked to see like there were actually like you wouldn't think about it. There was like banks there and like insurance companies and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, trying to cater to the gun industry.
Cater to the gun industry. They were unabashedly pro 2A, and they were like, you know what, we would rather go to this trade show than anywhere else to spread who we are and our message. And so I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Oh, stop by the Double Star booth. They've got a whole new line of camp hatchets. Because they have the knife side of the business for them. Cool stuff.
Oh, Philo's
our buddy Rob. He's it's cool.
They had an AR in there. Did you see the AR in their booth? It was kind of had gold inlays in it and everything.
Yes.
Now we have a Pinterest page, and
did you know
we have a Pinterest page, and I kind of manage it, and it's all just cool guns that we see throughout the shows and that we get in here in the office, and that's really what it's dedicated to. But that one that had the gold inlays and everything, it was beautiful. Like it wasn't overly gaudy, but it was just sharp
on the furniture.
Yeah,
they do a nice job with that.
They really do.
They've got the kind of the G10 kind of colorized wood furniture stuff.
So we talked a little bit about new gear and stuff. What trends did you see?
Trends, and we may have talked about this, but I mean, there's a couple trends. Silencers are big right now. They've been big, but I feel like you have a couple new companies getting into it.
Right.
Aero Precision has a couple new cans. Nosler has a couple new cans, and that's brand new. I mean,
that's brand like.
I think that's a big deal. I think Nosler doing silencers is a big deal because it's going to get more hunters into this space. And I think that there are a lot of maybe old school or like traditional type hunters that use Nosler products. They make great bullets and great ammo and great rifles actually. But they may be able to go, well, Nosler's doing this. This is interesting. Maybe it's not just ex-military guys who want to go hunting. And I mean, we certainly have seen the advantages of silencers in hunting firsthand.
Do you think this is a direct relation to the new e-forms that are out?
Oh, and that's the
ATF.
E-forms are a huge deal. Now, E-forms will make it faster to get your silencer. ATF is saying it's going to be 90 days, and you have some other people saying, "Oh, I think it's going to be like 60 or 45." Look, ATF
set the bar high.
ATF says it's going to be 90. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you would, make yourself sad by saying, I think it might be 45.
Yeah.
It's
just
that's what's
prepare for weight.
But we'll have a good idea because those opened up middle to end of December, and Silencer Central, Silencer Shop, those guys who handle that stuff all the time are on it.
Yeah.
And so they were filing hundreds or thousands probably of new e-forms. And so we'll have a good idea. Hopefully that'll start showing up, I guess by sometime in March, mid-March.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's taken off, and I know a lot of guys that are now starting to purchase their suppressors because of the wait time. And I'm kind of like, man, you should have just gone and done it when you thought about it, because you'd have it by now.
So if somebody, because you can't really go to SHOT Show unless you're in the gun industry.
Right.
But if somebody said, hey, KJ,
Ooh.
I just found out I'm going to be able to go to SHOT Show. I'm going to be going with a buddy, or I got asked to work a booth or whatever.
Yeah.
What do I need to know? What should I do? How do I do this?
Stay away from the tables.
What would you tell them?
I tell them to go to the basement.
Yeah.
I'd tell them
Level 1.
Level 1.
Which is the basement.
Yeah, which is the basement.
Level 2 is the main show floor level.
And so why would you immediately go to the basement? Because that's where a lot of the smaller companies are that you don't hear enough out of. And I mean, I think that's somewhere where a lot of the innovation comes from. But I love the small booth. Like, they go out of their way to really kind of innovate and show you what they're about. And I think you can find a lot of cool stuff down there that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Spend time there and go over to the new Caesars forums. I don't know how much time you got to spend over there, but it was like a whole nother section.
I spent a few hours over there. Yeah, it's a brand new space. I can't remember. I want to say it's like 150,000 square feet. It's a big space.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because it's only a couple years old. SCI used that for their show like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
They must have been like one of the first in there.
Yeah.
But it's super nice, and it's a mix, right? So like what happened is SHOT Show opened up all this square footage with this new location, which is connected. It's still connected to the show. You can just walk over there. It takes maybe 5-10 minutes to walk over there. It's not too
a big deal.
But so it's a mix of companies who have been here forever, like a Ruger, Springfield Armories, Psionics. They're over there. But then you've got a mix of, well, now they had a waiting list of, I don't know what it was, maybe 500 or more companies that were on a wait list because they just didn't have the room. And I think for the most part, they said, okay, you guys,
come on in.
If you want to come on into SHOT Show, come on in. So you've got some new blood there.
Yeah. And I like that. I like the new blood. I mean, it creates a little competition and a little bit of, it's kind of pushing the envelope a little bit.
But you got to plan your days because it's 4 days long. And several years ago, they said, and it was still 4 days then, they said, if you wanted to stop by every booth at SHOT Show and see every single booth, because I want to say now there's about 2,400 booths.
Good gosh.
And you're going 8:30 to 5:30, 4 days or whatever. You'd have something like 27 seconds at each booth. So it's a big show.
Guys. Yeah.
So you do have to kind of plan out, what are you wanting to see? Go hit those spots at the Caesars Forum or the main level 2 or go down to level 1, which I agree. There's some really cool stuff there. But there's more stuff coming out this week, which we're recording it this week. This will launch tomorrow. Timney Triggers launched their new trigger for M&P pistols, Smith & Wesson M&P pistols. That's a big deal.
That's huge.
I saw a video that's probably out there now of Jerry Michalik shooting this, and
it's pretty much a full auto.
Fast. And this is a competition trigger.
Yes.
It's kind of designed for like competition shooting. Yeah. And Jerry, I mean, what he said on the video was, that's probably the fastest I've ever shot a pistol, which is saying something.
And he had some input on this trigger.
Yes. I mean, he worked with them on this. So
he is the man.
Yeah, he's the guy. So that's encouraging. That's new this week.
And there's going to be a new launch next week.
Next week, there's more stuff from other big companies.
Yeah. So, and I think that's one of the great things about this time of the year is people are, it might not be launched at SHOT Show, but it's starting to come out, and we're going to be seeing here in the next month or so new products launching all the time.
Lots of new stuff. And I'll be honest, I mean, the stuff I'm seeing, a lot of this, they're just nailing it. It's great.
Yeah. It's great. And it's typically now companies have kind of like listened to guys like us, guys like you and gals, and when it's ready, and they have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So you don't have
Yeah.
to wait. Like, it's not like something that they say, oh yeah, it's going to be launched today and it's going to be available in 6 months.
Yeah, more people are having it ready to go
Yeah.
when it launches. So cool stuff. So stay tuned. We'll have more for you guys of what's coming up in the world of guns right here at Gun Talk Nation.